What is going on, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? My name is Prodigy, and this is Noir, and welcome to the Datascape. Today we are kind of talking a lot about what we've been talking about the past week, except more. A lot's been going on with Kingdom Hearts, the community. There's been a little bit of a fallout after the Game Awards in regards to Kingdom Hearts 4 news, the hype cycle, missing link. We're going to talk a little bit about some, I won't say drama today, but a lot of opinion discourse.
So I think that the best thing to talk about right now when it comes to all the discourse right now is just the excitements, I guess you could say, and the hype right now for Kingdom Hearts 4, and is it reaching a certain bad level? Because I've kind of had this, I guess you could say, idea in my head recently that with the hype for Kingdom Hearts 4, it started to reach these dangerous or bad levels of, I don't know if delusion is the right word, but it can be a little
You think the
toxic.
hype's going a little too far for some people?
Yeah.
I I don't know. I the question that I led with in the title for this episode is Kingdom Hearts 4 hype toxic? Now, where is this coming from? Let's set up the playing field a little bit, because not everyone watches the Game Awards, not everyone watches the gaming events. Some people literally just tune into the podcast and shoot, we're the news. We're the people that gives them we update them on what's going on. So, long story short, with Kingdom Hearts 4 this year, we have been hyping up Kingdom Hearts 4 at event after event after event after event. State of plays, random Summer Games Fest. Some people even were hoping for it during the Xbox showcase during summer. D23. We've been through a lot of events, and we talked about this a little bit in the last episode, and I talked about this a little bit in my last video as well. This is going to be a more unfiltered version of my last video, to be honest. I think Kingdom Hearts 4 hype, personally, is fine. But we're going to discuss that there. We're going to debate about it. We're going to talk about it. I think Kingdom Hearts 4 hype is fine. Is it toxic? Yes. I'm going to tell you the truth. I do think Kingdom Hearts hype is a little toxic. However, it's a game. Truly, it's a video game. I don't think it's anything super deep. I feel like it's okay to be excited about a game you're wanting to show up. After the Game Awards, a lot of fans were hoping for it to show up. That was like the last ditch effort for 2024. Myself, I also had these anticipations. Noir also did as well, hoping for that one opportunity to see Kingdom Hearts again. And that's, I described at the last podcast, that's what we watch these events for. We want to see these events because we want to be there when Kingdom Hearts 4, when Missing Link, when that new Kingdom Hearts announcement does happen. And some fans are kind of panicking. Some fans are losing hope, losing faith. They're thinking Kingdom Hearts 4 is really in a bad development position right now. It could be, it could not be, but the idea of it is because there hasn't really been any communication at all in regards to the development of Kingdom Hearts 4. Missing Link, the last news we got on Missing Link was about a delay, but especially Kingdom Hearts 4, because that's what we're going to focus on a little bit today. We've heard nothing about the game, really, in regards to the actual game in 3 years, basically since it got announced and we got that first little round of interviews. The shortest little blip we heard about it was during Nomura's retirement interview, where he talked about how Kingdom Hearts 4 is going to be kind of a reset. But these are things that we already knew, that we already kind of talked about in the Ultimanias and the interviews, the Game Informer interviews and Famitsu interviews after Kingdom Hearts 4 is announced. We haven't gotten any major Kingdom Hearts 4 information or even an update on the general development in so long, and that's why fans are excited for it. That's partially why fans think, because it's been so long, that maybe it is the right time to reveal something, to showcase some news, showcase some announcements, And I completely understand fans who are looking forward to that. And I don't think the hype is like a bad thing. Is it toxic? I do think it's toxic just because it's so some people are toxic with it. It's not healthy for everyone. Um but I think it can be okay for like a lot of people if you just know if you don't freak out afterwards. Like right now, we're talking about this in the podcast today because it's what's been going on in the community. It's what's been going on. People have been talking about over Twitter. I had a tweet that freaking reached like a lot farther than I thought it would, talking about how it's been 3 years since or almost 3 years this coming April since we've seen Kingdom Hearts 4. I think it's all right, but I'm talking a lot. What are you? Where were you at with that, Nora? Because you said you feel like it is a little bad.
Yeah, it's a little problematic for me just because we aren't seeing too much of the issues present right now, but we know the Kingdom Hearts community. I know the Kingdom Hearts community, and history will for sure repeat itself. So the issue is mainly that people are letting these absences of not seeing anything kind of let their expectations about something grow to these weird, ridiculous heights, right? Because Kingdom Hearts 3 suffered with the same thing. We didn't get anything Kingdom Hearts related, Kingdom Hearts 3 related, after Kingdom Hearts 2 came out for years. So then people kind of just developed this delusion about the game. And so when it actually came out, especially with the trailers we were getting, it basically led to people being disappointed in the game because it didn't meet those expectations, because there was enough time for people's expectations and delusions to sit and simmer and grow. And I'm afraid that that is what is happening to Kingdom Hearts 4 right now. People are silent for the most part right now, mainly just complaining that, oh, we haven't seen Kingdom Hearts 4 since it was announced almost 3 years ago. But now I feel like it's getting to a point where people are going to bash the next trailer because they're like, we waited 3 years for that as a trailer. Like, if that happens, I call it as I sees it.
What I want to ask though, because I feel like a lot of times, and we also discussed this a little bit, like this is a little bit of semantics. I feel like when it comes to trailers and things, and semantics happen because of how long it's been. Like I don't think we'd be having this discussion if we got a KH4 trailer a couple of months ago, or even a year ago. It would have been more light. Like a year into waiting for Kingdom Hearts 4, we were like, man, I want to see KH4 again. But it was more pure excitement rather than concern. And like now that it's been almost 2 years since then, like now it's becoming more concerned. So like what I would ask is that really on the fans though? Is that the fans like fault? Are the fans responsible? Like I think I made a video a year ago talking about managing expectations, and it was less me telling people to manage expectations, more so about the topic itself, because people throw that word around, manage your expectations when it comes to these games. And it comes from a lens, from my perspective, where some people have these grandiose expectations of a game that's coming out, and because they have these grandiose expectations that the game cannot reach at all, they think that they feel like they feel like that they ruin the games for themselves. And some people 100% do that. I'm not one of those fans, so I guess I like to put myself in that box of fans who aren't like that, because I genuinely think most people aren't. Like most people aren't going to have these grandiose expectations unless there's a reason to. Like I could run down like right now just so many things that went wrong with Kingdom Hearts 3's hype cycle that aren't necessarily on the fans, but yeah, the fans maybe went a little farther with it. Because for example, right, Kingdom Hearts 3, you could say people had high expectations for KH3. They did. It's Kingdom Hearts 3. It's the game following up Kingdom Hearts 2. Kingdom Hearts 3 was definitely going to be divisive regardless of some of these things. But to the degree that it was, I think could have been prevented by, number one, if they didn't spoil most of the game's plot points, or maybe not most, but a lot of the game's plot points in their trailers. Some people don't realize the extent trailers went, and you could maybe say you blame that on the fans for asking for more trailers. Just because fans ask for more trailers for a game doesn't mean the company needs to spoil story in trailers. Like, I don't think people are directly asking to see like spoilers in their trailers. I think people just want to be hyped, feel excited. There's other ways to do that. And if they felt like they needed to spoil things to get people hyped, to get people excited, then like I don't really think that's on the fans, because they made the decision to show spoilers in their trailers. Like, some of the spoilers I'm gonna talk about. They showed every single organization member, every single Seeker of Darkness in KH3 before the game even came out. And that was one of the biggest mysteries after Dream Drop Distance. If you played Dream Drop Distance's ending, you knew like a couple of them. And it was a big mystery theorizing who was going to be the Seekers of Darkness, right? Like, we talked about Ansem, about maybe we theorized about characters like Vanitas. We talked about like these other characters who could potentially show up, maybe a random foreteller from Union Cross or a random Union leader. Like, we thought it was going to be like this big mystery going into KH3, but it wasn't, because by the time you got the game, and these trailers got millions of views, not a couple 100,000, not like in the tens of thousands, millions. Every trailer got millions of views.
Some of them were like #1 trending on YouTube.
Exactly. And like, these are things that could have been prevented. And for some reason, I feel like nowadays people blame this on the fans. And don't get me wrong, I used to be in this ballpark where like maybe fans did set themselves up for failure sometimes. I've argued with people who set themselves up for failure with, I'm used to Jeff Keighley quote, who set themselves up for failure with KH3 and like their anticipation for it. Because for some people they waited 13 years, and for some people they waited, the 6 it took to come out, or 5.5. I I think that like with KH3, it's not. I don't think it's. Even though I love the game, I don't think it's all the fans' faults. Like, I don't think KH4. If people don't like KH4, I also don't think it's going to be the fans' fault necessarily either. Fans can overhype things. Fans can get super excited for things to the point where they set these grandiose expectations for themselves and they ruin the game for themselves sometimes. But that's also, it's not happening in a vacuum. Like, it's happening, it's a cause and effect. Like, people have higher expectations for KH3's story when you show most of the story in the trailers. Why was Roxas even shown? Why was Xion even teased? Why were all of these Secrets of Darkness showcased? Why did the final battle trailer even exist? Why they showed the Guardians dying? I can go on and on. There's multiple things that KH3's trailers did that we didn't think were bad at the time because the game didn't come out. When you see Roxas in the KH3 trailer, or when you see them show the anti-Aqua fight at TGS, you're thinking, okay, they're willing to show this, so that means there's a lot more to this than they're letting on. And then when there isn't, it's the fans' fault? I don't know. That sounds wild to me. I'm sorry for going on that tangent, but
No. You that's completely
like,
valid. That is 100% valid, and I think that on some level, yes, it is on the developers, because I definitely agree that a lot of the stuff that they showed in trailers that should not have been in there. Like, Nomura even said in an interview before Kingdom Hearts 3 came out that Roxas was one of the biggest secrets in Kingdom Hearts 3. And then you had the audacity to show him in a trailer. And Ventus even showed up in 2 different trailers, which that kind of spoils that, yes, Ventus will be saved, because initially they were really avoiding showing some of those other characters besides Sora, Donald, Goofy, Riku, and Mickey, because those are the 5 that we already knew were already on hand and ready to go. So if they had kept everyone else just like in the dark, it would have been this whole discussion on, oh, will Aqua be saved? Will Ventus be saved? Will Roxas show up? Had the trailers not shown that, we would have been guessing that until it happened, and that definitely would have helped people when it came to their perception of Kingdom Hearts 3 and how much they like Kingdom Hearts 3 and the expectations. just because like you said, the fact that they're willing to show that means that there must be something else
Yeah, like when you show
that
something
there.
like that, you're okay, even if you don't like think it out loud, your brain is going to think there's more to be shown. With KH4, I don't want a trailer to spoil me. Like I don't know. I've had these interactions on Twitter where people think like, "Oh, do you want the game rushed? Do you want the game ruined for you like KH3 was?" I'm not I'm assuming KH3 was a one-off. I don't want that to happen again. Personally, I loved KH3. Despite KH3 spoiling like a lot of its moments in his trailers, I loved KH3. That's my favorite Kingdom Hearts game, favorite video game, a matter of fact. I'm a big Kingdom Hearts fan. My favorite video game's a Kingdom Hearts game. Surprise, right? But I that sounded so mean the way I said that. But seriously though, like I love KH3. I love it to bits and pieces. Like KH3 was a lot of what I wanted to be. The only thing I didn't like about KH3 when it came out was links, and I didn't like that there was no post-game content or remind. Those are my only two criticisms from the base game. Oh, and critical mode, I guess, but that got fixed within like what 3 months. I think it released in April or something, April or March. Anyways, I don't want a KH4 trailer to spoil me, and because I'm hyping up the KH4 trailer, I don't think the devs should interpret my hype as, man, I want you to show me the master of masters freaking fighting Yazora. Like, no, bro, just show me. I don't know. Show me anything. I don't know what KH4 has. Show me anything. Show me a Disney World. Like, shoot, I'll take a Disney World. Disney Worlds are things I'm I'm okay with being spoiled on because I'm used to it, but like that's like the bare minimum. Like I'll take show me a Disney World and like show me some gameplay. Like maybe show me a cool NPC interaction. I don't freaking know, dude. Like you can there's ways to advertise the game without spoiling people. And like people just want to see the game so they can have validation, reassurance that the game exists, that the game is coming out, that this product is existing, because it then gives people something to look forward to. Right now, we don't really. It feels like I'm not mad at the trailer stuff. Like I can wait. Make this clear. I can wait. I'm all right with waiting. But I totally understand the sentiment of wanting to see more because a lot of people do look forward to Kingdom Hearts. A lot of people do have this as their favorite series, and they want Kingdom Hearts doesn't make like a lot of other games don't make people feel like the way Kingdom Hearts does. And you could say the whole thing of play other things, play other games, yada yada, and that's fine. Like I've been playing Marvel. I put 50 hours into Marvel Rivals over the past week. Like I've been
I've been
playing.
playing Sparking Zero.
Yeah, like I'm gonna play other things, but I'm gonna still look forward to Kingdom Hearts because nothing hits like Kingdom Hearts, bro. Like not for me, anyways. Like there's other things I haven't found maybe that can hit like Kingdom Hearts, but I haven't found anything yet. And I play a lot of games. I've played a lot of games. Like I haven't found a lot of things yet that have hit like Kingdom Hearts. So I don't think it's bad to want to look forward to Kingdom Hearts. I don't think just because you're hyping it up that I don't know, you're impatient or something. Like I don't know. I don't know. These opinions are weird to me. Sorry if I'm stammering a bit, but it does catch me off guard because I I don't know. Twitter can be weird. Like Twitter will make you like think excitement is like bad for something. Like I can't be excited for something because I'm gonna ruin the experience for myself. Like I have these people in my replies to this tweet that I made saying I don't know, saying you want another KH3 situation or like you want this game to be disappointing like KH3 was. I'm like, bro, KH3 wasn't disappointing for me. That's you. That's not me. So for me, I'm gonna hype up KH4 because I believe the game's gonna be good. I'm not. The KH3 didn't have this like large effect on me, like in terms of it being bad or anything, like it did for other people. So that's not a boat I'm sharing.
Well, I definitely want to be hyped for Kingdom Hearts 4. I definitely want to be there for when trailers drop. I can watch them. I can kind of analyze them. Right. That's not going away. But I at least because I told you before, like as a joke mainly, but I don't like being left in the dark. Right. And I think it's the fact that there's nothing being said about Kingdom Hearts 4 right now, or even Missing Link for such a long time that it's like it's really bothering the fans now because even when Kingdom Hearts 3 was in its dry period when it came to updates and development. We still got some things here and there, but there was also other things that understandably took the developers' attention away from Kingdom Hearts 3, right? So
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts 3's dry period mainly had to do with the release of Unchained Key. It also had to do with 2.8. They were trying to make sure they got 2.8 out on time. And Amor was even like, let's focus on 2.8 first before we talk any more about Kingdom Hearts 3, since you do have to play 2.8 before playing Kingdom Hearts 3. That made sense. There was also Final Fantasy 15. But now that a lot of these other big Square projects have already been released and developed, and there's no real news on anything else on the same level, right? Because uh, Final Fantasy 16 it already came out. Uh, Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth already came out. They're already working on part 3, so that team is already doing its own thing.
Yeah.
So I I'm not fully sure why there's such a need to be so silent for so long. 3 years is a long time. Like this is starting to get to Final Fantasy versus 13 levels of ridiculous when it comes to being silent.
Maybe not that bad because versus 13, even though it was like, even though there were fans were egged on with versus 13, the game got canceled. So no matter what, not many fan bases have it worse than versus 13 did. But versus 13 actually did get trailers and stuff, but it would just eventually, you know what happened. I mean, we kind of got versus 13 coming in KH4, so we got a culmination of two fan bases here. Um, I I'm sorry, chat. I've been a little ranty today. I mean, I'm usually ranty. That's something I like about this podcast. I mean, I rant in videos and I yap in videos, but like in the podcast, I can yap like in a longer setting. I don't have to yap for just, I don't know, 10 minutes or however long I'm trying to make the video. I can just yap unfiltered. But to ask you, Noir, because I've been talking a lot, like, what do you think about the fans? Because we have some fans who are toxic. Is KH4 hype toxic? That's one of the top talking points. Some fans are. Some fans are toxic. Some fans are annoying about it. Some fans are like, no, give me this game now. I'm entitled. I need this right now type of energy. But there's other fans who are just kind of like chilling. Like, do you think hype is bad? Is hype bad for games? Just period. KH4 aside, like, does hype kill games?
Hype doesn't necessarily kill games, but it can. It just depends on the group-wide consensus about hype and expectations.
Okay. But do you also think that, like, do you think hype who like do you think fans are at fault when it comes to hype, like we talked about a bit earlier? Like let's dive a little deeper into those semantics, because like I don't really, I don't know, I don't want to say yes. Like sometimes it's a gray, it's definitely not a black and white scenario, but I want to say mostly no, because it's just why, like, I feel like excitement for a game should rarely be like, you want excitement for your game. If you're a business making a product, you want excitement for your game. That's how I view it, at least.
Yeah.
Now, do you want excitement for the wrong things? No. Like, for example, right? Harada with Tifa, and we got Clive over Tifa recently at the Game Awards. A lot of people are excited for Clive. A lot of people wanted Tifa. A lot of people who wanted Tifa are playing Clive right now and are like, dude, Clive is a cool freaking character. Tifa can still come in Tekken 8. However, what if Tifa never comes into Tekken 8? And people are hyped up for Tifa, like, but it's something that's never going to happen, something that can't happen because of licensing or whatever. Like in that scenario, is hype hurting that game, hurting that fan? Is that a situation where it's the fans' fault, or like, what do you think? I think
I
we're
think
fighting is a
on
little
I
more
think on
iffy,
some
but
I think on some level, yes, but it also isn't necessarily tied to hype. It's more so tied to what's the best way to put it? To expecting or expecting games to meet certain standards,
yeah,
right? So like say for example, if with the whole Sora for Smash thing, right before Sora was announced for Smash, the whole Kingdom Hearts community was preaching for years for Sora to be put in Smash Bros. Right?
Right.
And for a long time, it didn't seem like that was going to happen. Now, for Smash players, that were Kingdom Hearts fans, did that overall, when every time Sora wasn't announced, did that affect how they viewed Smash Bros? Did it affect their opinion of Smash Bros? No, it did not.
Yeah,
Right?
people were disappointed or like
People
sad,
people were
but
definitely disappointed, but they didn't let that disappointment ruin the entire game. Right? So like how you said with people that wanted Tifa, but then they played Clive and they're like, oh shoot, Clive is actually really cool, right? They're not letting their disappointment ruin the game, right? Because it didn't meet certain standards for them. So Kingdom Hearts 3, unfortunately, did suffer from that because people's disappointment on certain things and how it didn't meet these certain standards, it led to them openly criticizing the game, like, for a lot of things. Like, one of the main complaints I hear from one of my personal friends, he says that he doesn't like the ending to Kingdom Hearts 3 because it didn't have the same gargantuan, like, final boss stuff that Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 had. You know how you fight through like multiple layers of like a big tower or a big battle station or something, like
yeah.
in 1 and Kingdom Hearts 3 didn't have that. And he's like, I was disappointed by that. I felt like that should be a series staple. It seemed like it was building itself up as a series staple, and then it didn't do that.
Oh, dude, there was a lot
There
of
was
stuff like
also
that.
there was a complaint about Oathkeeper and Oblivion not being in Kingdom Hearts 3 because people expected it to be in it because they thought it was the standard.
Yeah, that was a popular topic when it came to KH3, like what's a series staple and what's not. And it's a hard argument to have because you could go two lanes with that argument. You could go by number titles, or you could go by the whole series. Because, for example, some people see Sephiroth as a series staple, and personally, I think he should be. Personally, I
He
think he
should
should
be,
be.
but he's not.
Yeah, but like Sephiroth's only in Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. So it's
And
like
Union Cross.
Yeah, yeah, the mobile game. Yeah, you're right. Okay, but he's in Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, and Union Cross. But like, he's not in Birth by Sleep. He's not in. I don't think he's in Recoded. Right? I played Recoded. I
No.
remember seeing him. He's not in Dream Drop. Like Sephiroth isn't in these non-numbered titles like that. And there's more non-numbered titles than there are numbered titles. And regardless of how much people like Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, there is a much bigger but still continuous story outside of them. And that's the argument we're going to have forever, if I'm being honest. Like, some Kingdom Hearts fans are never going to, like, to some fans, Birth by Sleep, Dream Drop, these games are trash. Anything that's not 1 and 2, anything that's not 2, sometimes 2 and 3 is garbage. Anything that's not a numbered title sucks. And part of me understands that because I think the number tiles are the peak of the series. Like, my top 3 Kingdom Hearts games are Kingdom Hearts like 3, 2, and 1 in that order. Like, I think the number tiles are the best, and I'm assuming Kingdom Hearts 4 is going to be added to that soon. But I also know not everyone's like that. So I don't know. The whole topic about series staples, it's a nuanced topic because it depends on what type of fan you're debating with. But I also think when we talked about fighting games earlier, I think fighting games are a little bit of an outlier when it comes to hype and expectations because fighting games, well, with Sora and Smash, another reason people weren't as disappointed is because we held on to the chance of Sora coming later. When Byleth got announced as the final fighter in Fires Pass 1, Fires Pass 2 was announced, like, the same live stream, basically. So, like, we had hope for Sora still. When Sephiroth was announced as, like, the next Square Enix rep, some people were like, man, maybe he's not going to get in. But some people were like, you know what? Sora, he's a Disney character, not a Square Enix character. So, he might still get in by that. And we lucked out. We lucked out. We got lucky. I'm a Sora main in Smash. I also am on the Smash. I'm going to do a Smash podcast one of these days. I spend a lot of my free time playing Smash Bros. Honestly, playing Sora in Smash has definitely kept me alive during this Kingdom Hearts 4 hype cycle. Like, Imagine if Sora didn't come to Smash and we were waiting this long as well. I know for some people it would be the same because a lot of people who hyped up Sora in Smash did not play him. I did. I'm a Sora main. I'm a proud Sora main. I go to Smash locals. I do the thing. I go to tournaments. Like I play fighting games a lot, but yeah. To my point, I love rambling, man. Oh my gosh, I keep rambling about stuff. So I think that with hype and expectations, another thing to consider and talk about is do like we need to talk about reasonable expectations. I'm not trying to police people's hype or police people's expectations because I think that's lame. I hate that discussion. I think that discussion is like really whack and like why who cares? Like if someone's hype and they get disappointed, that's on them, bro. Like if you are hype and you shoot something exceeds your expectations, congrats. Like I don't think it needs to be that deep. I feel like things become deep when you make it deep. You could say we're kind of making it deep by even making a podcast about this, but it's something fun to talk about. When it comes to managing hype and expectations, there is a such thing I do think as like reasonable ones. For example, right? Like I've seen some people say they were disappointed in KH3 because it didn't have a Sephiroth fight, something reasonable. Or I've seen some people say KH3 didn't have a world I wanted to be in, even though it was never announced to be. But what I'm saying is like you have to leave some room to be surprised. Some people don't want to be surprised. Some people don't want to just let things like happen. I think that's one of the reasons I was okay with like a lot of things with 3 and just what games in general. Not even Kingdom Hearts. Outside of Kingdom Hearts. When it comes to games, regardless of what I hope for, like right now, one of my biggest hopes for Kingdom Hearts 4 is a Star Wars world. That's borderline maybe confirmed because of the thing we saw in the KH4 trailer. I also want an Encanto world, a Moana world. Those might happen. Those might not happen. I want a playable Riku or Kairi segment. But if those things don't happen, then I hope the rest of the game is good outside of that. So for some people, if these things aren't in the game, it sucks. It's terrible. It's the worst game ever. Like they form their opinion, they form their like they form their acceptance or their like love for a game based off of like one or two things. When I feel like you could be surprised, like something you like let's say you have a theory for Kingdom Hearts 3 or for Kingdom Hearts 4, and that theory is not true. That theory doesn't happen. You don't get not that story plot doesn't happen in KH4. That doesn't mean the game sucks because your theory wasn't true. Like, I've seen that with KH3 sometimes too. Like, you gotta leave some room to be surprised. You gotta leave some room to, like, let the developers do their things. Because you're not the writer. You're like the fan, and you can have expectations, you can have hype, you can have this, and you can have that, but, like, you don't the game shouldn't be following a script before you even like play the game. You know what I mean? I know I took a long time to say that, but I'm trying to find the words. Look, I have no notes this podcast. I came into here with no notes. This is what happens.
I honestly think that I feel like you're right. Policing people's expectations, that's just not something we should do as a community. That's something you can do. It's not in the cards. Um I think that what people should do is like moving forward, you're definitely free to have whatever expectations or whatever desires you want for the next Kingdom Hearts game. That's just unavoidable. That's just how your mind is. But if it doesn't meet that, don't automatically write it off as, oh, it didn't do this for me, therefore it's bad. It didn't meet this expectation, therefore it's bad, right? Because that's not really fair to the developers, because developers put a lot of time and money into making these games, and they don't know you personally. They don't know you from Adam, so to expect them to meet just your demands, even if it's a demand that you publicize and people agree with. Expecting them to meet that just because you asked for it is not a good way to develop games, right? You can still cater to the fans, right? You can definitely go out of your way to do that. Look at Remind. The first half of Remind is pure fan service.
Oh yeah, Remind is pure fan service. That's why critics did not like Remind. They hated Remind, but there's a big difference. Like critics reviewed Remind like terribly, and most of them didn't finish Limit Cut because it was too hard. But like you ask any like hardcore KH fan, they ate that junk
We
up for
ate it.
like
We ate
weeks.
it.
Like this Remind, look, Remind. I already love KH3. Remind is peak. Oh my god,
Remind is
dude!
goaded.
I'm smiling just thinking about Remind was so good, bro. I loved Remind.
So when it comes to like, honestly, the same people that said Kingdom Hearts 3 was too easy criticized Remind for being too hard. Um, so when it comes to that, you can definitely still have fan service. It just has to be done in a way that doesn't compromise what you're trying to do with your games,
Yeah,
right? Because you can't give up on developing the game that you intended just because you want to cater to some fans on Twitter or YouTube or whatever. Um, and I love how Remind handled everything. So like a lot of people's main complaints was the ending, right? The ending of Kingdom Hearts 3. They didn't like how the ending was played out. They thought it was too cliche or they didn't provide this or that. And they were valid
wait,
complaints.
you said for KH3's ending?
Yeah,
Cliche?
people said
Excuse
cliche.
me?
People said cliche.
Cliche for K? Okay, that's crazy. I want to ask a
So
question.
basically, a complaint I had seen. This mainly was like right after Kingdom Hearts 3 came out, but I had seen this complaint about Kingdom Hearts 3 being cliche in its ending, and I said, "How so?" And they said, "Well, Sora was the one that took care of all of the main villains. You know, there was no point where you defeated any of the organization members as any other character. It was Sora. Sora carried the entire Guardians."
I know it sounds so bad, but like, I saw this comment earlier today on one of my videos. They were saying how no, it wasn't on a video. It was under one of my tweets actually, but it was one of the under a tweet I made. Someone commented saying that they really wish we had side games right now, especially because some people don't like playing as Sora, or they like playing as Sora, but Sora's not everyone's favorite character in Kingdom Hearts. A lot of people like Riku and Roxas and Aqua. Like some people are more infatuated with other trios, so they think playing as Sora is like, man, why does he get the whole game when there's like 20 other Kingdom Hearts characters? That's totally valid. However, I'm a Sora stan, so I'm gonna be real. I like fighting as all the org members. Now I do think similar to Remind, they should have at least had the option in the base game for sure. That would have been like revolutionary for a lot of people. Um, that wasn't the main thing I was going to say though. What I wanted to ask, because you were talking about Remind and the writing and fan service earlier, and I wanted to ask because it made me think about Nomura and like his new like route foundation he's making for Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts is about to shift a lot. That's why there's a yin and yang to Kingdom Hearts taking this long to be showcased again. Because even when KH4's trailer came out, not everyone was happy with it. Let's be real. Like, I actually didn't like KH4's trailer. I like it's because to me, KH4's trailer didn't feel like Kingdom Hearts. Now I'm hyped for the story, but the actual look of the trailer, I wasn't feeling. My favorite part of that trailer was and probably still is Dawn and Goofy showing up, and the second thing will be Strelitzia showing up because that's like the mystery of it. But I don't know how I feel about Quadratum because I don't. Kingdom Hearts to me is this like colorful Disney world, but it's also like how I describe it. To me, Kingdom Hearts is walking throughout Traverse Town with Dawn and Goofy, but Kingdom Hearts is also another side, another story. Like that secret ending in Kingdom Hearts 1. Those are the two dynamics Kingdom Hearts has to me. Quadratum doesn't feel like either of them. Quadratum feels like something I'd see in like some random Japanese game, you know, just random. Where this is a Japanese developed game where we're in Shibuya or Shinjuku or Tokyo or whatever, you know, like it feels like a city game. It didn't feel like Kingdom Hearts until Sora summoned his Keyblade. I don't even like Sora's outfit in KH4 that much. It's growing on me, but it's my least favorite outfit so far. A lot of hot takes at once there. What I want to ask, with the fan service thing, do you think that's why Nomura says he wants to dial back on like these other characters, and why he sees Kingdom Hearts 4 as a reset? Because he wants to use this, since he's retiring, as his chance to fully tell his story without catering to fan service. Do you think that's a sort of a thing? Because let's be real, KH3, he had to cater to fans a lot, and that's probably was one of the biggest like hardships of writing KH3. Every character needed their story ended in some way, shape, or form, and he, for the most part, did that with everyone except Sora.
Yeah, I think Nomura is trying to avoid feeling like he has to go out of his way to cater to the fans, because if I think he feels like what he needs to do is make something that he wants that is already doing that, where he doesn't have to worry about doing anything extra. And I also think that Nomura is trying to help improve Sora's image, because while yes, we got a lot of Sora stans in the community, I like Sora. He's not my favorite character in the
How
series.
could you?
I said I've always said it's Roxas,
How could
but,
you? Like,
but you know,
at least it's other Sora.
but it's okay. It's another version of Sora, yes. But the point is that Sora wasn't too fleshed out during the whole Darkseeker saga, right? There was hype building up for him and stuff happening around Sora, but
Trying to
all of
open a fight
Sora's
in the
main
war.
development came in one, Chain of Memories, two, and Dream Drop Distance.
What?
And yes.
Okay, you throwing Dream Drop in there was like a major curveball, huh?
So the reason I threw Dream, because Sora is a playable character, so obviously he does get fleshed out a little bit. Although the main character of that game is obviously Riku, but the people have this idea about Sora now, and I think Nomura is trying to update that. That's why he mentioned having a more mature Sora in the past, right?
Yeah.
He he's trying to update Sora's image for the fans, and by doing that and by divulging a lot of the attention that he would instead give to other characters such as Aqua or Roxas or Ventus, he's instead showing to Sora to help build him as a character, because I don't want to say he doesn't have a whole lot of layers to him, because he obviously does. I'm not going to be foolish and not. I'm not going to be foolish and say that crap. But people like other characters because of just the type of character building that they specifically went through. You look at someone like Riku, Roxas, Aqua. Those are easily like the big three contenders when it comes to characters that people like, and because of their character building.
Okay. I'm gonna try not to fight you too much, but you insulted my boy a lot. Everything you said was
I said I like Sora. I
everything you
like the
said,
guy.
every single thing you said, I hated. But
It's not wrong.
look, it is. I'm look, okay. Sora is a very in-depth character, but not because of him himself. It's because of the people around him. Because he's surrounded, like Sora's dynamic is that he is. You've heard this countless times in my videos because I love talking about Sora. He is meant to be a simple character in a world where everyone else is like basically a freaking Naruto character. Everyone else is like their family's dead or something traumatic happened to them. Freaking just whatever, right? That he is meant to be the character who can go through the worst possible thing and still attempt to smile. And what made KH3 Sora so good is it didn't quite do that. Sora, honestly, Sora, that's wrong of me to say that too. Man, this is about to be a Sora podcast. No, I don't care. We're talking today. Look, Sora is a character who is so in depth, but because you have Riku next to him, because you have Roxas next to him, and they have much sadder stories. They have much more understandable stories. I feel like if I had to put like a phrase into what I would describe as like Sora's character, one of the biggest appealing points is I feel like Sora has a insane amount of emotional maturity compared to just about everybody else in the series. I know that sounds like weird, but he is able to sympathize with pretty much any character on the planet, no matter who they are, no matter where they come from. And you could say that's like the basic thing a protagonist needs to do, but I think Sora does it the best. I genuinely do. It's why like Disney worlds are so interesting, for me at least. It's why like Sora can make a random interaction with like Anna or Elsa even slightly good. It's why like when you see Sora interacting with like all these different characters, it's always still feels fresh and unique and like different. And some people might completely disagree with what I'm saying, but this is how I view Sora. I I don't rate characters based off of like how necessarily deep their story is or how like traumatic like their past is, or necessarily even just character development, but more so how good are they at doing what they're meant to do. And I think Sora is like, even if I didn't describe it super well, I think he's the best at being a protag, just period. I think he is like he's the best protag. He is Disney and Square Enix incarnate. He can be Sora can be serious. He can be that mean character. He could be super happy go lucky. Shoot, in KH2, one of my favorite scenes with him is any other protagonist, I feel like, would have maybe fought Sayax or would have automatically have assumed he was lying. Sora doesn't necessarily care about fighting. Kind of has that like Gohan sort of thing sometimes, where Sora doesn't necessarily want to be spending his whole life fighting. When it comes to Sora's friends, he will literally sacrifice even himself like for them. Like Sora put his Keyblade down in the face of Heartless and nobodies and just said, "Take me to her." When like Sayak said they had Kairi, like he was not willing to fight. He was just like, "I don't care if you have her captured. Just shoot, let me be captured with her." Like, I don't know. To me, Sora's character and the way he thinks about his friends goes so deep, and there's so many layers to that are shown game after game after game. And don't get me wrong, Riku's story, great. Roxas' story is great. I always say the best thing about Kingdom Hearts, above everything, above gameplay, above just the general story, the general lore, is its characters. Kingdom Hearts has a ability to make anyone care about some of its characters. Like, there's at least like, not how many series can you say like really have what Kingdom Hearts has? There's some, but there's not that many. Like in Kingdom Hearts, you genuinely have an argument for at least like a dozen or more characters to be someone's favorite. Like I'd say somewhere between like 10 to 15. Like there's a lot of characters in KH that people can attach themselves to that tell different stories. That's my tangent though. So we talked a lot about Kingdom Hearts 4 hype being toxic, and we talked a little bit about random stuff. What about the Game Awards?
The Game Awards.
Me and Nora watched the Game Awards together. What do you think about the Game Awards?
It did exactly what it was supposed to do, in my opinion. So, the Game Awards, first and foremost, it was good, right? I had no expectations or desires for the Game Awards. I openly said I don't expect Kingdom Hearts 4 to show up at the Game Awards, right? So I didn't walk away from that being like, "Oh, what the heck?" Right? It didn't do that. No, like it was fine. I got a freaking new Elden Ring game attached for the Game Awards, right? And it's a multiplayer Elden Ring game. Let's freaking go, right? Um, so the Game Awards definitely did what it was supposed to as far as announcing which games were top games of the year and announcing good titles. And that's really all you can expect from a show like that. And I'm not too disappointed. You know, Jeff made no inkling that Kingdom Hearts was going to show up. It's not like he did a few months ago where he played with the Kingdom Hearts fans and then he said, "Oh yeah, I don't know why Kingdom Hearts fans are expecting it to show up." Like, what was that, Summer Game Fest?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, he didn't do that, right? So it's definitely not the same scenario.
Yeah. Yeah. I like the Game Awards. Game Awards was a good show. I think it was better this year than it was most. Yeah, honestly, most years I'd watch it. I would put this in the upper half. Like it's a top 5 Game Awards. That was a 10th anniversary. That was a top 5 Game Awards show. So upper half of shows from Jeff Keighley. I thought it was very enjoyable. Had a lot of announcements at the show. Whether you were a Kingdom Hearts fan or not, Square Enix had a pretty decent showcase. You know, had Clive and Tech and Rebirth coming to PC. Like Square Enix did some stuff. You know, they did some stuff. Um, what I guess one of the last things I'd like to talk about is Missing Link. When do you think Missing Link's coming out? Like genuinely, when is that should be the next thing we're looking at, I guess. I mean, I still think it would be smarter if they showed KH4 before Missing Link. Not because I think KH4 needs to be is supposed to come out next. I know a lot of people's arguments is like, well, we should be focusing on Missing Link. Missing Link has even less hype than like 4 does. Someone in the chat, because we're live right now for people watching the VOD. Someone in the chat earlier, I've been reading chat, like, said that Kingdom Hearts 4 doesn't really feel like it has any hype outside of, like, you know, people on Twitter, like, social media, or, like, KH talking about it. And I can't fully disagree with that. Like, it hasn't had anything over the past 3 years. And some people say, well, we need to get Missing Link out the way, and then we could get to Kingdom Hearts 4. You're right. Missing Link will come out before Kingdom Hearts 4, but Missing Link has even less hype than KH4, like significantly less hype than KH4 does. I mean, it's always going to have less hype than KH4. I mean, it's another number title, but like Missing Link has no buzz. Missing Link, no one cares about Missing Link. Like, I'm gonna be real. Part of the reason I am so hyped for Missing Link is purely because I played Union Cross and Dark Road. If I was a Kingdom Hearts fan who hadn't played the mobile game stories, I would not care about this title. I genuinely wouldn't. But because I know how good Union Cross and Dark Road are, I'm excited. Most people haven't played the mobile titles or the mobile stories. Missing Link has no buzz. So I think KH4 needs to show up, not just so people can be updated about KH4, but so Missing Link gets a little bit of a rub off of it. Like, it's the same reason you promote your big title so your smaller title does a little better. Like that just makes sense, right? Like, don't you think?
Yeah. No,
They
absolutely.
did that with Union Cross back in the day with KH3. KH3 got a big trailer at E3 and they announced Unchained Key at the same time.
Yeah, and honestly, so I think I think the fact that Missing Link has gone so long into this like development hell, because when Unchained Key was announced, it came out like same year, right? If I remember correctly, it came out same year.
Yeah, I think it
So
did. I think it came out
so
within a
there,
couple of months of that for Japan. I think it came out a little
yeah,
later for
but
us. Yeah.
people still played the Japanese version first, even if you were in the States. I remember playing the Japanese version first.
Yeah.
So I think that's the big difference is that you announce this cool mobile game, and yeah, the people that played the mobile game in the past, they're excited for it, but the fact that so much time has passed and like we've got nothing about the game, like there was one beta test that didn't happen in the US, so a lot of people didn't even get to experience it, and so there's still like a whole lot of just unknowns and just not hearing anything about that game. And it's like, well, why would we concern ourselves with a mobile game that we're not hearing anything about when there's a main number game that we haven't heard anything about that we'd rather get hyped about?
This is the longest drought Kingdom Hearts has ever went through in its history. I don't I could possibly be wrong. Like there might have been some period in like the very early 2000s, but I do not think Kingdom Hearts has ever went more than 3 years without either a game coming out. Honestly, I don't think it's went more than 3 years without a game coming out ever, has it? Because 2002 KH1, Chain of Memories came out what 2000 was it 2004, 3 and 3? When did Chain of Memories come out? I'm not sure when GBA Chain of Memories released, but
Kingdom Memories
let's
released like almost exactly 2 years after Kingdom Hearts 1.
yeah, like regardless, it wasn't 3 years for that's for freaking sure. Because you also got Final Mix, like well we didn't get Final Mix, but regardless of whether U.S. or anyone got it, right now no one's getting nothing. Japan barely getting anything. Like Japan got a beta for Missing Link at least, but that they got a beta. Like Japan hasn't even gotten Kingdom Hearts stuff in a while, like a full release they can play. So we got Kingdom Hearts 1 2002, Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories 2003 or 4. People are saying 4 in the chat. Yeah, 2004. Kingdom Hearts 2 2005/6. Then after that we got like Recoded, Days, Birth by Sleep, Chain of Memories in between that. And then, so shoot, between Kingdom Hearts 2 and Birth by Sleep releasing in 2010, you got like three to four games. So you got like a game like almost per year between like after KH2 came out, which is crazy to think about, right? Um, and then the 2010s era was mostly like KH3 hype, but did we get anything between 2010 and like 2013? That might be like the biggest dry period I'm thinking because we
2010 to
got Birth by Sleep in
2013 saw
2010,
the release of Birth by Sleep, Recoded, Dream Drop Distance, and Kingdom
Recoded,
Hearts Key.
Recoded and Key. Okay, yep. All right, you're right. So yeah, shoot, Birth by Sleep, Recoded, then Key. Key was a Japan exclusive thing, so we could, if you wanna be iffy on Key, yeah. But then you got 1.5, and okay, someone just copy and pasted it in the chat. All right, Recoded. Yeah, literal legit. Okay. 1. Yeah, legit. We have never went. Matt C posted in the chat. So if you're watching on YouTube or wherever, Matt C just posted in the chat. We have legit never went more than 3 years without a Kingdom Hearts release. That is actually insane.
There
Kingdom
was
Hearts fans
actually
are
one point we were
freaking
receiving a Kingdom
spoiled. Oh
Hearts
my gosh.
title
We're
every
the most
year.
spoiled fan base of all time. We are so spoiled.
Well, because it doesn't help that there was a period of time where we were receiving a new Kingdom Hearts title every year.
To be fair though, while we are spoiled, that was the expectation that was set for KH for a minute. Because like this is a long story. Like on one hand, dang, we get games super often. On the other hand, we Dark Seeker sagas lasted a lot of like most of people's lives and just ended.
God. Oh, God. It lasted most of my life. Oh,
Imagine if
God.
you had to wait 20 years for like the pain arc to finish in Naruto. Like
People would have dropped Naruto.
I mean, Naruto did still take like years to end for people. Like Naruto lasted a long time as well.
One
One
Piece
Piece
is still
lasted
going.
longer.
Just put that out there. One Piece is still going. It's been over 20 years. Hell, the Wano arc of One Piece lasted 4 years. 4 years. Whether manga or anime, one arc of One Piece lasted 4 real life years.
For real life years. This is crazy. Oh my. Ooh. Yeah. So, anyways, I say that not to whine or not to complain. I just say that to add some perspective. When people say, when people talk about the drought, and when there are people actually complaining, like I want to make this clear. Even though like I know most people are probably just going to interpret this whatever way they want. Just I can wait. even though I talk like this and I talk about I give you guys the details about things and I give you guys these other perspectives. Me personally, I can wait. I'll be here. I'll still be making videos, hyping up events. I'll still be making videos talking about and analyzing the KH4 trailers that do come out hopefully next year or the year after or the year after that. Kingdom Hearts 4 could release in 2030, and I'll probably still be here making videos. Like straight up, I will like I just like Kingdom Hearts that much. That's where I'm at. So, regardless of what I say, I'll still be here. I can wait because I know I will. Like it's not really a choice. Like we're waiting regardless. Whether you're mad, whether you're upset, whether you're happy about it. I don't know. Like we're all waiting. We're all in the same boat. So I'm gonna wait. I can wait, but this is the longest drought period Kingdom Hearts has ever went through. We have passed the KH3 threshold. This is the longest Kingdom Hearts drought ever for a game released. Ever. The last release for Kingdom Hearts, well, there's a technicality here. The last console release was Melody of Memory. The last content release, meaning just new Kingdom Hearts content in terms of like not a port, not a Steam port or whatever, was Dark Road in August of 2022. In August of next year, it'll still be 3 years since we got that, but I think even with Dark Road, I think it still is the longest drought because it's been over 2 years since Dark Road 2, like since Dark Road ended, 2 years and some change. Dark Road kind of came and went too. We need to do a podcast about Dark Road because Dark Road.
You know what we do, because at one point we just weren't receiving anything about Dark Road, and then we just got all of it at one point, and then we just like, okay, what's next?
I think that's why it came and went because like a lot of people didn't form an attachment to Dark Road like they did Union Cross. Union Cross is weird because Union Cross felt really niche, but the finale like blew up. Like I was all over the internet. Like videos were getting like hundreds of thousands of views on the Union Cross finale. Like it wasn't. It was small in comparison to like the rest of the Kingdom Hearts stuff, but like people were about the lore. Like the lore of Union Cross was crazy. Like every single fan who was following Union Cross came out for that finale. Like that was a event, and that was one of the most memorable community events. Like that was as memorable as like a Kingdom Hearts game releasing itself, to be honest. Like I know that sounds crazy, but Union Cross finale was that big of a deal. Like we were following that story for what, like 5 years, maybe more if you were following Key Browser as well. So like, dang man, those were some good times. Those were some real good times. Is there anything else you want to bring up, talk about, any points you want to make? I know I talked a lot this podcast. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
I'm in.
Let's see. Honestly, there's really nothing else I could really think of talking about, just because we kind of hit a lot of the points that we wanted to about the Game Awards, Kingdom Hearts 4 hype, Missing Link. But you did ask me when I thought Missing Link would release. I know Nomura wants to release it sometime around warmer weather, so probably looking at somewhere around April and May, which would be the 3-year anniversary of Kingdom Hearts 4's announcement.
That's what I'm hoping for. I think the anniversary of that announcement will be a good time to do it. You know what? Let's also do this while we discuss Missing Link a little more. Chat, hit us with ask whatever questions you want, and we'll read like a couple and like a small amount of them in chat as we end off the podcast. This has been a very successful live episode. I think this has been our most successful live episode. We almost peaked at 100 viewers today live for a random podcast that we just decided to do yesterday. Thank you guys for coming out. Sheesh, you guys are great. So for Missing Link, I think Missing Link is coming out. Okay. Do you think it comes out first, or do you think the US gets a beta first? Because they've only done closed betas. They haven't done an open beta yet for Missing Link. Do you think they do an open beta first? Do you think that game needs an open beta?
Probably not an open, but a closed beta, like pre-registration for a closed beta. Probably open up. Favorite Game Awards announcement: Elden Ring, Night Ring. No questions asked. There's easily.
My favorite TJ announcement was probably. I don't know if I have one actually. Hold on. I I
Do
actually
you
don't
think
know if I have
Sora
one.
do you think Sora or Riku have a chance of not being able to leave the afterworld due to being actually dead? Well, Riku is not he never actually deceased. Um Sora is debatable on like you can argue whether or not he did decease, but based on what Shirthi said, he didn't actually die. He was just kicked out of his reality due to performing a nature taboo. I definitely think it is possible to leave, but he'll have to go through some uh hoops in order to get through it.
Okay. Any other questions in the chat? We got. Wait, hold up. Let me scroll up. I saw something interesting. Oh, okay. When do you think we will see KH4 trailers? Um, I'm gonna look silly
Really
saying a
tough to
date.
say.
I do think if Square wasn't willing to announce it at any point this year, I kind of think that they are going to do it at their own event. So like someone said earlier with what Cynical said like about them doing like a Square Enix Presents or something. I could see that like a random Square Enix Presents showcases KH4 again. That would put Square Enix Presents on the map. So I think that's reasonable.
Let's
KH4 looks like a
see.
fever dream. Yeah, is the game even real, bruh?
Do you think young Xehanort returning? You think Vanitas comes back some sort of reality? I do think these characters have the chance coming back. Vanitas especially, since we know that Vanitas is one of the 13 original darknesses, and we know that the next conflict will involve them. There's no doubt that Vanitas will be involved because especially since like Vanitas I or the darkness within Ventus identifies himself as Vanitas, that'll definitely be a thing. I actually have a thought about Xehanort's return. I will save that for a video of my own, but I do have some thoughts on Xehanort's return. But he obviously won't continue on as the main villain as he did. He'll just be like a minor character, but he more than likely will come back.
Okay. Do you think Square? Wait, do you think we'll see more Odin and Missing Link or KH4? Ooh, that's a
Ooh,
good question. I think Odin was an unfinished character in Dark Road, so I feel like we should personally. Like, I feel like Odin wasn't explored that much, but very mysterious character, right? Like,
yeah.
very mysterious.
Like I think there's definitely more to him than what we see because I don't know. I feel like there is something else behind him. I think there's a reason behind that in like his design because he was shown to be wielding both the Master Defender and the No Name,
Right.
but he I don't know. Maybe there's a good reason why he has one eye covered.
Yeah. Maybe there is.
Do you think Sora will merge with Vanitas? No.
No.
Vanitas is already his own being.
Are you concerned about the development of Kingdom Hearts 4? Okay, truthfully, no. I think it will come out. I'm not that concerned about the development. Like, I think I hope development is going good. But if what they're asking is like if I'm worried about it being canceled, no. Are they going through some struggles? Maybe I could see it. Like, I think Kingdom Hearts 4 is just a hard game to develop in the modern age. Like, this isn't even me trying to gas up KH in whatever backwards way you want to say this is me gassing it up. I think Kingdom Hearts 4 or think Kingdom Hearts is just a difficult game to develop in like the modern gaming climate. Because think about it, right? One of the biggest things with KH3 was developing a engine, developing develop not an engine specifically, but developing a lighting style called the Kingdom shader, developing a style that would allow them to have Sora, Donald, and Goofy look good in every Disney environment. This isn't like the PS2 where you can just get away with like whatever, you know. Like it's in the PS2, it was like it was passable to not put an insane amount of effort into that stuff, and it probably wasn't an insane amount of effort back then compared to how it would be now. Like them making something like Townless River nowadays might be difficult, you know, or them making some like we saw how good the Caribbean freaking look. Imagine how long that world probably took to make, and all the mechanics they did and whatnot.
How freaking big that world is.
Yeah, like now Kingdom Hearts can't. I don't think they get away doing like the bare minimum with Kingdom Hearts. Like you know, the next time they you know that when we start getting into the Kingdom Hearts 4 marketing cycle and they start showing stuff, you know we're probably going to see major worlds. Star Wars is one heavily theorized. We might see Marvel. We might. It's possible. People asked Nomura about it, so I wouldn't be surprised if Marvel got in. But I would like. It's possible, right? Do you agree that it's possible for it to happen?
Yeah.
Like Marvel, Star Wars, big worlds like Moana. Moana's will probably be a world similar-ish to the Caribbean. You got these movies that are like beautiful, some live action, some not, and all of them demand a certain art style and a certain like level of care. So like if they let's say they do something with Spider-Man and Sora, they gotta make New York, and there's probably hecka assets they could take and do for that, but like they still have to make New York and develop like potentially some mechanics so Sora can like swing around with Spider-Man if they do that, right? They do a Star Wars world. They gotta shoot. They gotta make that. You know how long Star Wars games like usually be taken to make. Like there's some Star Wars games that have taken years to make and still aren't out yet. So many that have gotten canceled and whatnot. Freaking Jedi Fallen Order is a freaking masterpiece. I still haven't played the sequel to that yet. I need to, but Moana is they're gonna do what they did with the Caribbean and like do it even better, like with Unreal Engine 5. What I'm saying is these worlds in the modern day are going to be a lot more intensive than they were on the PS2. So I think Kingdom Hearts is one of the harder games to develop, and so I think it's understandable why it's taking a long time, but I do just want to hear updates, like any update. So I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that at this point, the developers have gotten better with using their engine and creating the worlds and building the worlds, right? Because they were able to make so much in such a short amount of time. I mean, you look at I think Shibuya is a really big indicator of that. I think I talked to you about that before, John. But they basically designed the entire arena for Shibuya, which is extraordinarily detailed, mind you, despite the fact that you can't go anywhere outside of on top of the 104 building. It's extremely well designed, and they designed that in less than a year.
Yeah, and not to mention Quadratum. I have a I have a feeling, and just I'm gonna just leave that to myself. But Quadratum is probably going to be a very big world. I'm going to say that that Quadratum is going to be huge, just based on what they've been saying. And that world is you were talking about accurate with Shibuya. Quadratum's super accurate to that area in Japan. Like it's insane. Like people, there's pictures of people visiting that place IRL, and it's like 1-to-1. You know, I don't know. Square is definitely Nomura is definitely using Kingdom Hearts 4 as like if Nomura's retiring soon, Nomura wants to go out with the bang. That's all I'm trying to say. He wants to go out like undeniably like as like one of the better directors. I mean, he already is, but that I think Quadratum. I think these games are about to be crazy. But I'm gonna leave it off there though. Thank you guys so much for coming to today's podcast. I really appreciate you guys. We We had a lot of fun with this one, even though I rambled a lot and had no notes and went off topic countless times. I just hope you guys had fun listening, and I appreciate you guys staying here and talking and chatting it up. I've been reading chat in between stream. It's nice to look at and see what your guys' comments are as we're talking. Ooh, you got anything? Any closing statements you would like to say, Noir, for this episode?
Uh, nope. Just let's all do our best to stay positive in this wait for the next Kingdom Hearts announcement. And let's just try to stay positive.
Hey, that's definitely one of the best things to say. So, next episode, we are going to be having a very special guest on, and they are another Kingdom Hearts YouTuber, and it's a YouTuber that I know a lot of you guys like, so I hope you guys look forward to that. And my name is Prodigy,
My name is Noir Little Bomber.
and remember, everyone, to be nice, be safe, and take care. We'll talk to you guys soon.